Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Energy, brought to you by Amila Africa. We are live from the Cape Town International Convention Center for the 2024 Africa Energy Week. I am Sunela Dos Santos. I am your host today, and today we'll be unpacking all things energy with Professor Anthony Adebulube. Correct?
Yeah,
yes.
That's right.
And who is the CEO of Green Energy International. Welcome and thank you so much for being here with us
Thank
this
you for
afternoon.
having me. I appreciate this opportunity.
So, what is the significance of the relationship between Green Energy International and Africa Energy Week?
Well, first and foremost, I would like to say that it's been a very exciting time in the last 3 days.
Yeah.
This is the first time my company, Green Energy International Limited, will participate in the African Energy Week. We used to go to the African Oil and Gas Week.
Yeah.
It's a little confusing, but this is the first time I'll be doing it. And what we've seen so far has been very exciting. We see a lot of government people, decision makers. We see a lot of practitioners. We see investors, bankers. So it's an opportunity, it's an area where we have been able to exchange ideas.
Yes.
These ideas among peers, also exchange ideas with those who make decisions.
Yeah.
And for me, coming from an academic background, it's a very rich experience that what you've seen in classroom, you've taught over decades, you could see it really begin to mainstream in the decision making that has effect on a lot of things.
Yes, yes. Oh, that's very good to hear. And how has Green Energy International maintained its commitment to comply with rules and regulations and relationships and within international best practice principles?
Well, as you know, oil and gas industry is really very global.
Yes.
And it's a high risk, high reward kind of a business. So if you are not efficient, if you don't have global best practices, you are not likely to make a headway in the industry. It is perhaps an industry that's well over-regulated in my view. It's very regulated. So you have to make sure that you have a very good relationship with the regulators. So you are not running foul of the law or the regulations. And at the same time, you have to think outside of the box so that you can be competitive. You can also be able to be innovative, thinking outside the box so that you can move ahead. So our relationship, I place a lot of big emphasis on us developing a very close, very close understanding the regulator and also telling our stories to the regulator. But this is what we want to do. This is why we are doing this. And if they say this is the regulation, then we don't go against that regulation. And that's how we've been able to do that. And of course, we also belong in Nigeria to industry group. We call it IPPG, Independent Petroleum Producers Group. So we're able to talk about the issues and go to the regulator. And the regulator thus far have been very helpful in our path towards our company's growth.
Okay, now that's very interesting. And how does innovation, science, and technology play a role in the advancement of the African-led energy agenda?
Well, I look at innovation not in an academic, abstract sense, but I can only tell you our experience. I spoke yesterday in one of the sessions in which I said, they say necessity is the mother of invention. I said necessity is the mother of innovation. We have been able to innovate, and I call innovation in the sense that thinking outside of the box. For example, my company, just like many other companies in Nigeria, we face the issue of finding the most efficient export oil evacuation route. It is that bad that so many fields are in the country in Nigeria, but they're not producing, but there's no evacuation route. That nearly happened to us, to my company, because the route where we are going, or where we're using, the terminal we were using, was being owned by someone. The person who owns it says, look, in 6 months, guys, I won't allow you to bring your oil here for export. That means our country will shut down. So we started thinking outside of the box. That's what I call innovation. And when we came out of the box, what we thought about was what people have not done in 50 years. And we said, look, listen, instead of doing the same thing or closing down, why can't we do something different? And what we did different was to say, look, we will build a modular oil export terminal. I mean, it's audacious for somebody doing less than 10,000 barrels of oil per day, saying he wants to build a terminal. It's audacious, but that's innovation. And with the kind of, somehow we did it. And the terminal will be, started 2 years ago, will be commissioned first quarter next year. And we did it. We used local content. We did a lot of things within the law, of course, that made us. So those are what I would call innovation. You must think out of the box. Other companies are now saying, oh, why did you do that? I say, well, we are going under. If you do not think outside of the box, we'll be like the other people complaining that there's no evacuation route and stuff like that. So that's what we've been able to do, and we've done it very well. And we're happy to share experience, actually.
So innovation is very important.
Innovation is very important. That is, the way I define innovation is thinking outside of the box. Don't let something constrict you. Do be audacious, be undaunted, and say, look, this can be done. Even in the financing, raising the money that we used to build our terminal, it's, we use commonsensical approach. We talk to our off-taker. We convinced our vendor contractors. We went to the regulator to tell our story. We tightened the belt. And now here we are. We built a $500 million facility.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Doing anything special beyond the commonsensical approach,
and
which I call innovation.
Out the box.
Out of the box.
Okay, we got it. And how is Green Energy International making energy accessible and affordable?
Well, thank you very much. As you probably know, energy in Africa, Nigeria, as an example, we are energy access poor. Most of our population, 600 million, don't have access to clean energy, especially for cooking. And one of those issues, the clean fuel for cooking, is LPG. So right from the word get-go, we have gas, associated gas with our production. We looked at the composition of our gas, we saw that it's wet, so that at least you can extract LPG out of it. So one of the things we did was to have a modular LPG extraction plant. LPG means butane and propane extraction plant, which is working now, operated by Nigerians, maintained by Nigerians, is working now. Therefore, making LPG more accessible, more into the market, for cooking, and that's done very well. And we're even taking that LPG not only for cooking, but also for power plants, also for generating sets. So, in a sense, we have contributed more into getting clean energy into the Nigerian energy mix. And the success has been so phenomenal that we are planning the second plant, an expansion. We started the first one this year. We already planned the expansion, which hopefully will be on next year. That will make us to be producing about 300 metric tons of LPG per day for the Nigerian market.
Amazing. So you would say that in the next 5 years, you see more people having access to it?
Oh, yeah, even right now. Already have access to the Of course, there are other sources in Nigeria, but we have contributed to that source. So because in the past, what happens is that there will be shortages of LPG. People will now have to resort to kerosene, or people resort to fuel. But that's gradually is erasing now in Nigeria, partly because of those who are contributing the source into the market, and we are proudly one of those suppliers of LPG into the Nigerian market.
Well, that's very interesting, and that was very informative. We look forward to seeing the growth of the project, and thank you so much. We're really privileged to have you here this afternoon, and we hope to see you again in the next Africa Energy Week.
Thank you very much. Cape Town is very, very beautiful.
It's amazing, right? So you'll be back.
I'll be back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.